1986. Brighton. 2 girls vanished after a family barbecue, and 6 months later their bones turned up in scrub above the city. Karen Hadaway was 9. Nicola Fellows was 10. The official story landed years later. The files still scraped at the back of my throat. Karen Hadaway lived in Whitehawk. 9 years old. Restless, known around the estate, quick to drift outdoors when the air was warm. Her photograph sat on my desk under amber light, fringe neat, eyes staring out at the dim horizon. Smile fixed. Children always looked most alive in the pictures taken before anyone needed them. Nicola Fellows was 10, quieter by most accounts. Friends said she trailed close, then ran hard once she laughed. That Sunday she and Karen moved together between flats and grass, as smoke from the barbecue hung in the block courtyard. Small lives, ordinary habits, then gone. The last confirmed sighting came on 9 October 1986, near the Whitehawk estate after the barbecue. Evening drew in early that time of year. Concrete still held the day's heat. Witnesses placed the girls walking away from home ground. After that, the city swallowed their outlines. Whitehawk sat east of central Brighton, a post-war estate of low blocks, cut-through paths, stairwells that held damp and old chip fat. Kids roamed there because there wasn't much else to do. A stranger could blend in if he kept moving and look like he belonged. Whitehawk lay north of the seafront postcards. Rough ground, scrub, bramble, chalk, and hidden dips above the city. From below it looked open. Up close it folded in on itself. A body could lie there through winter rain while dog walkers stayed to the paths. Between Whitehawk and Whitehawk sat roads, bus routes, footpaths, and blank space where a child could be steered when out of scene. The thing is, Brighton was busy enough to offer cover and loose enough at the edges to keep secrets. Some cases stay cold for a reason. The first photograph in the file showed the girls together, school-age faces, one dark-haired, one fairer. A simple snapshot. Behind the gloss, my lamp pulled out tiny cracks in the print. The picture smelled faintly of old paper and nicotine. Evidence ages. Absence doesn't. The missing person reports were thin at first. Times, clothes, last known movements. Police often started with runaways when children vanished from an estate. Short fragment, then the longer truth. Those first hours bled away while adults argued over whether 2 girls had simply wandered. Search records spread across my desk in carbon copies and maps. Officers checked waste ground, alleys, arcades, parks. Volunteers combed paths with torches. Dogs were used. The city gave back nothing. Gone. No trace. That silence in the first week settled over everything that followed. 6 months later, in March 1987, a man walking in Wild Park found skeletal remains in undergrowth. The air in the report felt cold even on paper. 2 bodies together, partial clothing nearby. The hillside had kept them through winter. Then the ground let go. The official version hardened slowly. The girls had been abducted on the evening they vanished, taken to Wild Park, sexually assaulted, and killed there or near there. Cause of death could not be fixed from the remains. The record says certainty. The record lies. For years the file drifted among suspicions, statements, and old local names. No charge held, no courtroom answer came. The case entered that familiar limbo, cold case men know too well, where every new review restates the old facts and calls motion progress. Then came Russell Bishop, local man, previous suspect in the original inquiry. In 1990, he was tried for the murders and acquitted. Later, he was convicted for the abduction and attempted murder of another 7-year-old girl in Brighton. Same city, same chill in the wording. In 2018, after fresh forensic work on preserved evidence, Bishop was tried again for Karen and Nicola. This time, the jury convicted him. 2 life sentences followed. The state marked the file solved. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't for me. Start with the first investigation. Detectives received thousands of names, sightings, and claims. Among them were reports touching Bishop early, yet the case against him collapsed once before. Acquittal on a double child murder leaves a stain on every page around it. That's the part that doesn't add up. Then, there were the witness statements. Some shifted over time. Distances changed, times softened. Children recalled a blue van in one telling, uncertainty in another. Adults remembered men in passing. Memory rots at the edges, especially after headlines arrive. Paper preserves confusion better than truth. Forensic work bothered me most. Key items survived long enough for later testing to matter, but the early handling belonged to the late 1980s, when preservation was patchier and assumptions came cheap. A sweater, tights, degraded fibers, tiny things decide murder cases. And there was the geography. Whitehawk to Wild Park wasn't impossible on foot, but steering two girls across Brighton unnoticed took nerve, familiarity, or a vehicle. The prosecution pointed one way. The ground suggested several. Every loose end is a story someone tried to bury. One alternate theory never fully died. More than one offender. The disposal site, the movement, the risk. Some investigators had circled that possibility in the margins. A local predator with help, or at least with cover after the fact. No court endorsed it. The file never closed. Another path ran through Brighton's repeat offenders of the period. Men questioned, then dropped. Men with cars, access, and histories of violence toward children. Some had weak alibis, some had none worth trusting. Once a stronger suspect emerged, the outer ring of names thinned too neatly. There was also the chance the girls accepted company rather than force. Familiar face, local man, someone who knew how children moved around Whitehawk after dark, and how adults there sometimes lived away. The case papers never proved that point, but the streets around the estate kept whispering it. After the convictions, families had judgment, but not every answer. Exact sequence, exact place of killing, whether the girls were moved, whether anyone saw more than they said in 1986. Those blanks remained. Court closure and factual closure were never the same animal. I sat with the later reviews and press clippings until the coffee on my desk went metallic and cold. Brighton had changed. New glass, cleaner signs, different traffic. Wild Park still looked capable of hiding something. That was what 20 years on cold cases taught me about this one. Land remembers. I knew the conviction carried weight. I also knew old investigations leave drag marks behind them. Missed hours, soft assumptions, witnesses handled badly, facts arranged before they were earned. This case kept the light on because the answer arrived late and left old shadows standing. The state named Russell Bishop, and a jury agreed. I wasn't arguing the verdict here. I was staring at the scraps left outside it. Which detail doesn't sit right? Point at it. The desk stays cold.